Looks like I need some room. Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon and welcome to the City Commission of the City of Brownsville. Mayor, may we call the meeting to order?
Yes, please.
Pursuant to Chapter 551, Title 5 of the Texas Local Government Code, that the Texas Open Meetings Act notice is hereby given that the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, in accordance with Article 5, Section 12 of the Charter of said city, will convene at a regular meeting on April 7, 2026. The meeting is called to order at 5 p.m. here in the City Commission chambers on the second floor of the Brownsville City Hall, old federal building located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas, 78520. We will proceed with the roll call, starting with Mayor John Cowan Jr.,
Present.
Commissioner Tino Villarreal,
Present.
Commissioner Narenth Galonsky, Commissioner Brian Martinez,
Present.
Commissioner Linda Macias, Commissioner Gustavo De Leon, Commissioner Pedro Cardenas. We do have a quorum to proceed. Next, we will have the invocation that will be led by Ms. Rosalia Fernandez, and following, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flags of the United States of America and the state of Texas.
Good evening. I'd like for everyone to just kind of gather your thoughts. We've had a busy day and just kind of, just relax. And it's really important. We have a lot going on in our country right now. So as you close your eyes and bow your head, we gather together, Heavenly Father, giving you and only you thanks and praise. In one accord, we pray for our military as they serve and stand for the red, white, and blue. Protect them and their families. We lift up our president, Congress, and Senate, that they make the best decisions for the United States of America. We ask, Lord, for a Holy Ghost protection for our country. Protect our borders. May no weapon formed against us prosper. We lift not only the elections in November for our country, but our local elections as well of Cameron County. Bless our city and county, all our officers, volunteers, and those that bring good to our community. Remove stumbling blocks so that Brownsville and our county can bloom with beauty. We pray for rain and thank you for the rain we received this past weekend. As citizens of Cameron County, Lord, continue to mold us into the individuals you designed us to be. We pray for a better future for our children and grandchildren. We pray for Brownsville, Cameron County will have an overflow of abundance and never lack for anything. May each of us who have stepped up to serve in our community shine in what we are doing. Matthew 5:14, you are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. So as we continue to build with a pure heart, let our work shine and bring a smile to your face. Number 6, 24, 25, and 26. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. In God we trust, in Jesus' name, amen.
Texas flag, pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, one God, one and indivisible. Next, we have proclamations. Recognizing the 2026 Social Work Month, UT RGV School of Social Work.
Thank you, Myra. Do we have any representatives from this School of Social Work? Excellent. Come on down. It's an honor to have read today's proclamation. This is a proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, recognizing 2026 Social Work Month, UTRGV School of Social Work. Whereas recognizing the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley School of Social Work and the social work profession. Whereas the field of social work is dedicated to enhancing human well-being, promoting social justice, strengthening communities, and ensuring that individuals, couples, families, and vulnerable populations have access to essential resources and support. And whereas the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley School of Social Work demonstrates an outstanding commitment to educating future social workers through rigorous academic training, ethical professional standards, culturally responsive practice, and community-engaged scholarship. And whereas faculty, students, and graduates of the UTRGV School of Social Work contribute significantly to the Rio Grande Valley by offering a vital service in mental health, healthcare, schools, aging services, crisis intervention, child welfare, community development, and advocacy for underserved population. And whereas the social work profession plays a crucial role in addressing social determinants of health, supporting equitable access to care, promoting trauma-informed and person-centered services, and strengthening the region's human services workforce. And whereas UTRGV social work, faculty and students actively partner with local agencies, nonprofits, hospitals, schools, and community organizations to advance research, promote culturally informed practice, and respond to emerging community needs across the Rio Grande Valley. And whereas the month of March is nationally recognized as School Social Work Month, honoring the dedication, service, and leadership of social workers across the United States. And whereas it is fitting for this to recognize the UTRGV School of Social Work for its contributions to education, service, research, and community empowerment throughout the region. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by the virtue of the authority vested by the Charter of said city, do hereby recognize and celebrate the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley School of Social Work, its faculty, students, community partners, and alumni for their meaningful contributions to the social work profession and to the well-being of individuals and families across the Rio Grande Valley. Be it further resolved that the municipality honors the essential role of social workers in strengthening communities, advancing equity, and supporting the health and resilience of the region. Done on this 7th day of April, 2026, signed by the Mayor and City Commission.
And for the record, we do have Commissioner Macias present. Maybe we should say that. Once they receive.
And you are more than welcome to say a few words if you'd like.
Thank you, everybody. First, I'd like to thank the commissioners, Mrs. Linda Macias and Mr. Brian Martinez for sponsoring this proclamation in the city of Brownsville for recognizing the importance of social work in our community. Social work is a critical profession. We are trained to engage with children, adolescents, adults, and older adults in their lived environments, supporting individuals, families, couples, groups, and entire communities in identifying and removing barriers to achieve meaningful, self-defined outcomes. A profession that values the dignity and worth of human beings. We also strengthen systems. We help agencies and businesses reduce costs by developing efficient, evidence-informed solutions. We serve as elected leaders, policy advocates, and decision makers shaping the conditions that impact health and well-being. Often our work happens quietly, sitting with individuals through trauma, supporting those managing chronic illnesses, and helping people navigate some of the most complex moments of their lives. The University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and the School of Social Work continue to prepare highly skilled, dedicated graduates who are making a meaningful impact across our region and beyond. We work with agencies and businesses across Brownsville, Cameron County, the RGV, and the world, with students completing practicums to gain hands-on social work experience. Our social work researchers partner with community agencies to develop research informed by the populations and the communities to enhance life and well-being. I love being a social worker and training others to become the same for this noble profession. Our communities need and deserve more social workers. Thank you so much.
The next proclamation is recognizing the National Public Health Week.
It brings me of great honor to be giving this proclamation on behalf of the mayor and the city commission. It's a proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, recognizing National Public Health Week. Whereas National Public Health Week, observed April 6th through 12th, 2026, is a celebration to recognize the contributions of public health officials, professionals, and advocates who diligently advance surveillance, education, outreach, and health practices through this year's theme, Ready, Set, Action. Whereas the 2026 National Public Health Week theme, Ready, Set, Action, calls on individuals and communities to reflect on progress in public health and take proactive steps towards a healthier future. This theme highlights the importance of community engagement and collective action in addressing public health challenges. It urges us to strengthen social connections, promote environmental health, and ensure equitable opportunities, core foundations for building resilient communities. And whereas public health is a crucial aspect of reducing the causes of health inequalities, improving quality of life, health and well-being, and preventing infectious disease through the protection of public resources such as air, food, and water quality. And whereas public health has made major accomplishments over the past decades, such as ending indoor smoking, encouraging healthier eating habits, and increasing physical activity. And whereas the city of Brownsville, promoting physical and mental health, has amassed a network of health and wellness initiatives, including but not limited to the RGV Challenge, Healthier Texas Community Challenge, Healthy Starts Here Community Coalition, and Tu Salud Si Cuenta program. Through partnerships with local universities and colleges, nonprofits, and nearby communities, and by national partners. And whereas the city of Brownsville's Department of Health, Wellness, and Animal Services champions employee mental health through BTX Health, helping everyone achieve lifelong transformational habits center. And whereas the citizens of Brownsville are encouraged to talk about the importance of public health, promote public health initiatives, and learn about the role of the public health systems in improving health across the region. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the charter of said city, do hereby recognize National Public Health Week done on this, the 7th day of April, 2026.
And for the record, we do have Commissioner Cardenas present. Picture. What city picture? Thank you.
That was definitely a mouthful, but I can share out that you guys do incredible work. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you guys do. So big round of applause to our health department, who does so much in maintaining our city clean, maintaining our city beautiful, And this could not be done without you all. And I see you guys out there in the communities hitting the ground running. And if you guys have the opportunity, they also do cleanups around. So if you guys have Facebook, any Instagram, YouTube, follow them online. You guys will learn a lot, be a part of the community, be a part of the help, and be a part of the ones who are making a difference each and every day. So thank you. A big shout out to you all.
Thank you. Honorable Mayor and Commissioners, good afternoon. You know, Public Health Week is about being ready, set, and action. We're really a proactive department, and this year, as we look back at all the progress we've made, we also look forward to a healthier future. Community health workers are the backbone. You know, this week, they're going to be providing blood pressure screenings at City Plaza in the mornings, April 9th, for our public, while also giving out public health educational information. Community health workers will also be at First Friday, April 10th, doing the same thing, so that if you are someone who's wondering about what it is to be a public health worker, come and meet our team this coming week, because community health workers, we're all community health workers. We'll also be at the farmers market on Saturday morning, again, sharing some of the programs that we do out there. So thank you for the great work that our team does.
Next, we have the public comment period. I do want to state for the record that all registered public speakers have acknowledged the city's public comment conduct rules as displayed on the screen and have agreed to while addressing the city commission, as a reminder to the speakers, that all comments shall be remain as comments to the mayor and the city commission as a whole, and not to an individual commission member or staff. Speakers are not allowed to use their time to conduct the moments of silence, or may not conduct a filibuster. Speakers will be allowed to speak up to 3 minutes, shall state their name and address for the record. So far, Mayor and I'm a City Commissioner, we did receive 3 that were pre-registered to speak. We will start with Ignacio Andrade. Please state your name and your address for the record. Seeing none, we'll move on to Yolanda Spees. Please state your name and address for the record. The time will begin after your address.
You want to know what is more inappropriate than any behavior of mine? Your apathy, your lack of professionalism, your inappropriate complicity, and your enabling of the racism the representative from Starbase just showed. You're waiting until the end of February to proclaim Black History Month officially, and to continue to allow Pastor Brad Burks to do his racist-based invocations. That's pretty bad. So I have to ask you, why? Why should we reelect a mayor and a commission who have no spine? Why should we be okay with having an assistant city manager and chief of police who serves as a conflict of interest? Why should we be okay with that? Very corrupt, very inappropriate, very complicit, and not in the best interest of Brownsville residents. What has to happen? My mom's in the hospital right now as we speak, dying of cancer, but I'm here. After she's gone, I still have to live here. That is why I am here. That is why people need to realize you don't care about me or anyone else in this city, unless it's your family, and even then, we have to question that. I was once told that you could not take something from a citizen because it would not look right. Well, it wouldn't be right to go ahead and pay for your lunch. How does this look? Do you think this makes you look electable and safe? Not everyone can be as lucky as Donald Trump. People are watching, people are listening, people are talking. So maybe you need to really think about how bad it looks. We know how concerned you are about image. Doesn't look good at all. No politiqueras promoting you will get you elected. You think we aren't facing this and or are aware. If you really care how things look, you can see the writing on the wall. Racism isn't going to work here. Just do everyone a favor and do not run. You're a cancer. You're killing us. And we're gonna have to face that because of everything that you all have allowed, you're killing us. And you know what? At the end of the day, you're a cancer. And what do they do with cancer? We have to excise it. And that means that when election time rolls around, I hope you all don't get elected. I really hope you decide not to run.
Next, we have Diablo Velez. Please state your name and your address. The time will begin after.
Going to finish a comment on Pastor Burke. My name is Diablo Velez, 1254 Tyler. Can you start the clock again, please? My name is, all right. Pastor Burke is asking to have a minute of silence for Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was assassinated while debating in front of a divided crowd. And he's accused of being responsible for these divisions. Pastor Charlie Kirk argued and debates on American mainstream subjects and ideas such as race, gender, education, sexuality, and constitutional rights that divide people. Jesus Christ came to the earth, and according to the Bible record, he says, I came to divide. I came to confront parents against sons and sons against parents. Charlie Kirk, he is contrary to women's reproductive rights. He opposed educations and universities. He opposed niggers, wetbacks, putos, transgenders, and he favors guns. He supports guns. The guns that he kills 18 children at a school in Uvalde, Texas, that angry a lot of people. So when Pastor Burke is asking to have a moment of silence or a minute of silence, that angry a lot of people, including Yolanda. Jesus Christ asked his followers, give me a coin. Whose image is in that coin? Then Peter, they said, give Rome what is belongs to Rome and give God what is belongs to God, Jesus Christ. Pastor Burke theology is contrary to the American traditional Christian values. He has a political agenda, not a spiritual agenda. I wanted to recommend that Pastor Burke submit his invocation for a revision. He cannot continue exposing the public to pray for people that do not conform with the American Christian values. He might be, is un buen amigo, but enough is enough. Thank you very much.
Next, we have the city manager's update. Number one is recognizing the Brownsville Birding Festival.
Nathan, you want to come up and recognize the birding festival? We have this proclamation. We're not going to read it, but we wanted to make sure that you have it and get a nice picture. And then speak about this major event coming this way. Mr. Guard. Mr. Guard. Yes. What are we reading? Get up. You will speak in a minute. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mayor, City Commissioners, City Manager's Office. 20 years it's been since Brownsville's hosted a birding festival. We're really fortunate. This cold front produced what's called a fallout. So migratory birds are actually settled here in the valley for about a week to regain strength. So it's the best time to have a birding festival. So kind of the stars aligned for us on that point. I'd like to thank our sponsors, BCIC, Warbler Coffee, RGV Red Crowns. I'd like to thank our partners, Gladys Porter Zoo. And most of all, I'd like to thank the CVB staff who have been working on this for over a year, notably Eva Mian, who wasn't able to be with us at this moment, but this proclamation is for her and the rest of the team. So thank you.
The next item is the community engagement on the Recreation Center. I'll turn it over to staff.
Sean, you want to come up?
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, City Leadership, and our beautiful guest here at Brownsville City Hall. I am Sean DePalma. I am the Director of the Parks and Recreation Department for the City of Brownsville. I believe it was about 2 months ago we all met, and one of the priorities and upcoming future objectives of the City Commission is to see and explore what the possibilities are with our rec centers, and specifically a new rec center and the possibilities that might be able to come about from that as our city's growing and expanding. Tonight do I have a controller for, sorry, thank you. So with that task that was given to us as a department and as a city leadership, we went ahead and we started programming, a survey so we can gather input from our community and our stakeholders to really see where they view community centers, the 3 that we currently have in our system, and a future one and the possibility of that. And in addition to that, we came up with 5 engagements so that we can have open forums with discussions and actually interact with our citizens and our stakeholders. So I'm gonna just run through this. My team is outstanding and overzealous. They put together a 30-page slide. I can't do 30 slides, and we all know I'm pretty talkative, but I'm gonna try and condense it just for tonight. What we did do is we did identify 2 rec centers that are in similar demographics and similar sized cities, one in Texas and in one from my hometown, which is Miami Gardens, Florida. And what we did is we put together, because they're very similar sized city population wise, they have a young, medium age population that's growing, and their demographics are with the Hispanic and the Latino demographics. So we're trying to put like against like and not apples against oranges. We want to stay in the orange family in the sense. And we want to run, this next slide has the 4, but we actually have 5 touch points that we're doing starting this Saturday, which is at our Touch a Truck event at Cavalier Park. That's going to be on the 11th Saturday. Then we have and that's on the 11th. And then we have, and I'm going to refer to something really quick so I can get this information accurate. At the time that we submitted this for public release with your agenda, we didn't have the 5th one in there. On the 16th, we're going to have it at the Downtown Rec Center. And then on the 17th, we're going to have it at Gonzalez Park. All 3 of those during next week will be 5:30 to 7:30. The Cavalier Park will be 5 to 8 o'clock on Saturday. And then wrapping up next week at the Farmers Market, which is also our Earth Day event there. So exciting time to be at the Farmers Market next Saturday. On the 18th, we'll have another touch point, and that'll run from 10 to 12 for our engagement. We have started a drive run. It's live up on the website right now as of April 1st. We have roughly 300 surveys already completed. And I can honestly give you that close to 93% of the responses for yes and very high possibility of wanting a brand new rec center it's at 93% of that 300. I know it's a small sample right now, but we haven't even started our engagement. So you can kind of foresee that the community does desire something, and we're moving in the right direction. But we didn't want to just say, hey, what do you want to do with your rec center? We wanted to let them reimagine the rec center, our current ones as well as a new one. See beyond what we currently have and go to see what other people have. So in Grand Prairie, Texas, they have a location called Epic Rec. At the Epic Rec, this was built in 2018, so a little bit before the pandemic started, a couple years before that. It's very indoor based, but they do have 128 acres outside that they built a district as far as other entertainment and recreation components. This is a city facility. So we wanted to show what a multi-purpose sports gym could be. If you see an aerial view, it has pickleball in there, it has basketball, but it also has a walking track around it. If you see in this picture, it's in action, and it's the same facility, it's in action, but they have an event going on for children on one side. In this, in that larger picture, the horizontal picture, and then they have basketball on another side. And then they have, in there, they've hosted wrestling, and as possible, multi-different events can be held in that large space. They have a gymnasium, fitness center with free weights, and they also have cardio and also machine weights for people like our commissioner that's very athletic and into athletics. They have a full array of equipment. It's not just free weights. And then they have multi-purpose spaces. We don't want to go one directional anymore. We don't want just an art room. We want a room that's flexible. It can have 3D, it can have art, it can have the PD coming in and teaching community safety, or the fire department teaching how to put a car seat properly in, or CPR classes. So we want multi-purpose spaces, game rooms, of course, cooking areas. And if you see in that lower picture, it doubles as a performing arts type theater, but it can also be for dinner events with a stage. So we're really trying to expose our citizens at these meetings to what the possibilities are out there. Not imagine something that's not out there, but the Epic is right here in Texas. It's a city that's comparable to us size-wise and demographics, and they have delivered that to their citizens, and the citizens desired that. But we want to show them what that is. Indoor aquatics, this is both facilities I mentioned. One is Betty T in Miami Gardens, and then one is at the Epic. But they both have water facilities indoors. And then we just kind of identify what those type of spaces could be and be utilized for STEM research, wellness programs. And we just want to kind of spark the imagination as we go through this process with our citizens. There's a garden space, indoor pool, sensory room for individuals that have special populations that need a different type of stimulation outside of a traditional basketball, as an example. And then we kind of just got a little bit creative with our rec center to say, hey, downtown rec center, if renovated, it could have a possibility of a garden on the rooftop, a slide that comes out of the playroom and shoots you to the front door. And this right here is just an AI generated. It is not something that's out there, but we'll have the Epic, which is a real facility, Betty T, which is a real facility. We'll have those type of pictures. But this was just to get the imagination started. There is a housing authority rec center in Alabama that actually does have a slide that brings you from their first floor down to their brings you from their second floor down to your first floor indoors, and then half of the tube sticks out of the building. So it's really cute. It's very possible. And that's what we wanted to do. This is Olivera Park, if it was reimagined, right? We're on the reimagine theme. And then Tony Gonzalez, we kept that more realistic, I would say, because, look at that smile, very good smile. And then this facility is, Mr. Guard, you can help me with this one. This is a real facility, and it is in Plano, Texas. And if you see, this is a multi-purpose facility. It has indoor capacity, but then it has a water park and a pool outdoor. And you don't see the whole property from this caption, but it also allows for some athletic capacity as well.
And
And
this one
so-
was built in phases. So they did it over several years. So that's another thought in putting together something major.
And just to give you size comparison, the Epic is 128,000 square feet. I believe it's like 125, 130. And then Betty T is about 70. So it's a little more than half. But both of them serve communities similar size, similar demographics, and similar upward motion as Brownsville. We're better off as far as our renaissance right now and with growth, but regardless, it's very like to like characteristics of these facilities. So, and we have the survey live on our website currently, and we have all correct 5 dates, which is this Saturday, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week, and then wrapping up Saturday of next week as well. And I'm here to answer any questions if you like, Mr. Mayor and Commission.
Sean, I don't have questions. I just want to thank you for all the work that you've put into this presentation and for thinking outside the box of what the future looks like for Brownsville. I think one of the most important things, and you know this, and whoever's probably watching this on YouTube, I ran for office because I really do believe that we have to really focus on our young people, and not just our young people, but obviously our young people are the ones that take us here. We need also to worry about the elderly people and our special needs community. And so currently, Gonzalez, Olivera, I mean, the city's done what it can do so far to maintain what we have, but it's about time that the city starts reimagining what it can become. And so I want to thank you for, and Mr. Guard as well, for your guidance on this, because I'll tell you one thing, it's not just about building something new. It's about reimagining the parks we already have. The downtown park we have, the Gonzalez Park, Olivera Park. We lost the Olivera Pool a couple of years ago. That was a tragic loss for the community, but it's our time to reimagine this. And then we need the community feedback is what I'm saying. So people who are watching this and people who are out here in the audience, we need community feedback. We'd love for you to tell us what you want to see out of your parks, what you want to see out of quality of life here in Brownsville. Because looking at this, it's something that exists in other cities that are much smaller than ours. We are also the largest city in the state of Texas that does not have a YMCA or a Boys and Girls Club. And for me, that's a shame because we are one of the largest cities in the state of Texas, and our kids deserve the best. Our special needs community deserves the best. Our elderly deserve the best. We that want to just be active and go somewhere to spend a day to exercise deserve the best. And so I do encourage people to participate. I thank you, Sean, for the work, and thank you for putting on the forums that are going to take place. But we can't get this done without true community input, because this is going to cost money, right? And so it is not just a dream and magic wand and it appears. It's going to cost money. So we really want the feedback as a commission, and myself I'm speaking for myself as a commissioner. What is the community willing to, what do you want, and what do you really want to see? Because it is going to take us to look to the community to make this a reality as far as the cost that goes behind it. But it's the time to have this conversation, I believe. And so thank you again. But I do encourage everyone watching to please give us your feedback and participate in these forums that are going to be out there this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. And again, the survey's live. We want you to come out and interact with us. We're ready to interact and we're looking forward to it. But if for some reason any of those 5 dates don't work, 2 Saturdays, 3 weekday nights do not work, the survey's live. You can get your input in and we desire it. So thank you very much.
And
Mr. De Palma, congratulations on this presentation to you and your team. I agree 110% with Commissioner Villarreal. We do have to think big, think out of the box, and think what our future is going to look like. You know as well as I do, I go to the sports park a lot, and I try and go out as much as I can. And to see something like this for the possibility of it becoming a reality is amazing. I also want to thank Mr. Guard, the city manager's assistant, for thinking this way. And I think if we get the public on board, the citizens on board, this can be a reality. And I totally agree with Mr. Real, Commissioner. This would be a great addition to the city of Brownsville.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And I do want to point out to the commission, you instructed us to start this before we hire any engineers or designers or anything. So this is all being staff driven. We had our Parks, Health and Recreation Master Plan where we got a ton of community engagement there. We're going to do this process. After we hire somebody to help us do conceptual design, there'll be more community engagement. This will be probably one of the most community informed processes and projects that the city has seen in a long time. So thank you for your support and your leadership in this. And staff, we're really looking forward to the process and see where it leads us.
Thank you.
John.
Next, we have the city manager's search update.
Hi, everyone. I'm Abby Akers. Sorry, I can't be there in person, but wanted to give you just a quick update on where we are to date and the next steps with the city manager recruitment. So I'll give you a quick summary of our applicant pool. I'll talk about what we're going to do next and ultimately from here on out the selection process. The next slide, please. So we had 73 total applicants from 22 different states. I have put up the equal employment opportunity information that we gathered from that total applicant pool. So you can get an idea of the diversity and perspective that from a diversity perspective. We conducted semifinal interviews with 10 candidates. I narrowed it down to I believe I screened right around 15 candidates. We narrowed it down to 10, and we have identified 7 candidates to advance to the finalist phase. Unfortunately, 1 has withdrawn, so we have 6 finalists in the finalist phase. One of the initiatives that we're trying to get the community's input on these city manager finalists. So we are going to have a forum on April 17th, Friday evening from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Brownsville Event Center. This will be an opportunity for the public to meet the candidates. We'll have a question and answer session as well. I have included the QR code there if anyone would like to submit their question. We'll have a moderator there to ask all of the public questions. We'll also have the link will be live during the time too, so if people can submit their questions during the forum as well. We're going to have local food trucks there with food and drink, so people can come right after work, and the Q&A session will start around 6. So from 5:30 to 6, we'll do just the meet and greet. People can grab food. That will be in the court outside of the event center. We'll do the panel from 6 to 7:30, and then we will have a live Spanish interpretation there available as well. So, and then we will also post a QR code and a link to another survey where we can get the community's feedback about the candidates. So we will have that posted at the meeting once we're done with the forum, so the community can give their input. The final selection process, this is kind of an outline of what's to come. So all of the finalists have completed a list, a trio of assessments, so we can have that information and more data points to make sure we're making the right decision. We'll have the community forum, and the commissioner interviews are going to take place on the 17th and 18th. Your community feedback, the assessments results, and all of the surveys will be shared with the commissioners prior to the interviews, so they'll have time to look that over. They will select the top candidate after the interviews are done. We'll present the conditional offer. We will agree upon salary terms, employment terms, and a start date. And then I will initiate a professional background check on that person, which typically takes about a week or 2 weeks to complete. And have that available for the commissioners. And then we'll prepare the onboarding plan, and we'll present this resolution to the mayor and commissioners, and you'll have a new city manager by the end of the process. So we're excited to move it forward. We've narrowed it down from a very qualified list of applicants, and we're really excited about, we have a really diverse crew of the finalists that lend a vast array of backgrounds and breadth of depth of experience that they can to lead the city of Brownsville. So if anyone has any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me, but I would be happy to take some now if anyone has any questions.
I think I only have one question, but I do want to reiterate that this is very exciting. I'm so happy that there will be community outreach as well throughout this process, so the community knows that they're a part of this as well. So I'm very happy about that we're involving the community. And so I'm going to be posting on my social media, and sometimes I get questions that I'm like, I didn't think about that. So I'm going to ask you, I know in reference to there was food trucks or food vendors. Now, is this sponsored by the city, or do people need to take their own cash credit?
No, this will be sponsored by the city. So free food and drinks. I believe there'll be a coffee vendor there. We're trying to make sure that we spotlight your small businesses within the community, and so we'll the food trucks and the coffee vendor will be paid for by the city. So come one, can all, come hungry, and meet the candidates.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Abby. And I want to thank you for all your hard work in this process. It's a ton of work, but this, I think this is by far the most important decision we have to make as a commission. And we've definitely put together a great process and a very transparent process so that the public can have input into the next city manager here. So I think that's yeah, like Linda said, like Commissioner Macias said, this is important to the commission, and we encourage everyone to come out on the 17th, I believe at 5:30 at the event center.
Yep. Thank you, Mayor. I really appreciate the opportunity, and look forward to seeing everybody in person at the event center.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will proceed next to the consent agenda portion of the meeting.
I'll ask that we pull out 15 and 16 because I need to abstain from those.
I'd like to pull item number 5, Mayor.
So I move to approve 1 through 4, 6 through 14, and 17 through 19.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Starting with the consent agenda, item number 5. It is the consideration and action to ratify and affirm the approval of a memorandum of understanding, MOU, between the City of Brownsville and the Brownsville Historic Association, BHA, for the rehabilitation, operation, and maintenance of the Nail House that was previously approved by the City Commission on March 3rd, 2026.
I had a question regarding language for city use. Was that clarified?
I would ask that you add an amended to this I spoke with the representatives from BHA, and they are in agreement that the city would have use of the facility 6 times per year at no charge, and any additional usages would be at half their regular rental rate. So if you would add that amendment, we would add that wording to the MOU before everybody signs it.
Okay. I had 2 quick questions. Do we know a total cost at this moment?
No,
the
so we did request from Preservation Texas, but they did not provide that yet. However, in conversations with BHA, they did advise that even if we did have a cost at this time, really it's going to depend on the relocation. And once it's relocated, an assessment of the conditions of the home at the new site, and then we could have a better cost estimate.
And second question was, do we have any commitments at this point? Any donors, any money that we've raised so far towards this project?
Not that I'm aware of, but I did discuss them fundraising at length, and they're very much in agreement with it, and we're already coming up with some plans for various fundraising events.
Okay. I have no further questions. I still won't support this item, so I'll ask another commissioner if they want to make a motion.
Sure, I move to approve with the amendment of the 6
Free rentals.
free rentals a year with any additional rental at 50% as part of the MOU agreement.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I think it's great steps to do the free rent. That's what we had spoke about last time. So I'm glad they came around with that. I'm also not, I'm gonna vote nay on this as well because we don't have a price, and I don't think it's fair for us to be moving something. We have no idea how much it's gonna cost. We have no idea how long it's gonna be there, so that's all I have to say.
To call the vote.
Get a roll call.
Nay.
No, okay. Starting with Commissioner Cardenas, nay.
Nay.
Commissioner De Leon,
Nay.
Commissioner Galante, Mayor Cowan,
In favor?
Commissioner Villarreal,
In favor.
Commissioner Macias,
In favor.
Commissioner Martinez.
Nay.
Nay.
4-3.
Four failed, okay. It passed, yeah, it passed 4-3. Okay, next we have consent agenda item 15 and 16. We do have a conflict of interest form that Commissioner Galante will submit, which is in consideration of ordinance number 235-2026-002 and also ordinance number 235-2026-003S.
I move to approve.
Second.
So we're approving 15 and 16 together.
Together? We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Perfect. Now we move on to the public hearing portion of the meeting. Public hearing and action on the first reading on ordinance number 2026-1788. I'm amending chapter 106 of the vehicles for hire to include the regulations related to the transportation network companies, TNC, that's commonly known as Uber and Lyft. I'm amending the section 106 through 26 to add the definitions, amending section 106 through 34 to revise fares and rates, and amending Article 5 of the special fund account, sections 106 through 316, regarding the use of the taxi cab revenue funds. We'll turn it over to staff.
Mayor, Commissioners, good afternoon. I'm here to, again, the proposed changes to City Ordinance Chapter 106, Vehicles for Hire. The increase for the drop rate change, to increase from $3.50 for the first 1/5 of a mile to include the first 1/5 of a mile to increase it to $6. The history behind that is there hasn't been an increase since, at least since I've been here in late 2020. The other added areas are here that we want to consider is the added definition of TNC vehicles, as mentioned, Transportation Network Company, which is more commonly known as Uber and Lyft. And these companies are more regulated through the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations. Previously, we did not have a definition for that in the ordinance. And to amend section 106-316 to read, from all funds will be designated for the use of the police department for the purchase of necessary supplies and equipment to be used for administering said ordinance, to all funds be designated for the use of Bronzeville Metro, B Metro, for the purchase of necessary supplies and equipment to be used for administering said ordinance. Currently, Bronzeville PD does not administer the issuance of any of the permits and licenses, and B Metro has taken over those responsibilities. So we're here again at your request. I was tabled previously, so I'm here to answer any further questions.
Do you happen to know by any chance what the fare is in other cities in the valley?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do, Commissioner. In Harlingen, for example, currently, their ordinance reads at $4 for the first 1/5 of a mile. In McAllen is $7 for the first 1/5 of a mile. After that, it goes down 55 cents for each additional 1/5 of a mile in Harlingen, and McAllen has it at 50 cents. Currently, our rate for 1/5, for every 1/5 mile after that, is also rated at 50 cents per 1/5 of a mile.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It is. I do have some questions. Who regulates whether those meters are turned on or off?
I'm sorry, Commissioner?
Who regulates whether the meters are on or off? when they
We do.
have-
It's in the ordinance. Their operation is supposed to be, they're always supposed to operate always by taximeter, not to be running on flat rates, regardless of, oh, we do this route from here to the airport, for example, five times a day. We know how much it's going to cost. Everything is supposed to be, when you go on there, it's meter-based rates only.
And you regulate that currently?
Yes, sir. It's in the ordinance, and they're supposed to operate that way. Now, if they don't, if a passenger were to file a complaint, it would come to us, and we would investigate, and we would take action after that.
At the same time, are you guys the ones in charge of regulating Uber and Lyft?
No, Commissioner, we are not. Though they are regulated through the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. They set the rates, they set their standards, their insurance, everything for Uber, as I understand the state regulation, the Uber operators and Lyft operators are or contractors of Uber and Lyft themselves.
So no, we have no say-so as a city if they turn off their meter and they tell people that they'll give them a flat rate to give them a ride instead of just by shutting off the app.
For TNCs, yes, sir. Those, because they don't have taximeters, they run strictly on app.
Correct, but I'm saying their meter is the app, right? And if they
Their
turn
meter
off,
is the app, correct? From my understanding, correct.
so that's state regulated.
Yes, Commissioner.
Do any cities have oversight on that?
From my understanding, from the research that ourselves and through our legal department, no, Commissioner, we would not find anybody that actually has specific regulations for TNCs. Commissioners, we also recommend that the the definition and the amended 316, that we support changing that. It has no effect on the rates of the taxis. It's just something, it's more administrative that we would like to, that we recommend approving.
And then just to be clear on this, the drop-off rate, it's a one-time fee.
Correct, Commissioner. It would start out, for example, it's $3.50 for the first 1/5 of a mile. After that, every 5th, it would increase 50 cents per 1/5 of a mile.
Please, if I'm wrong, just let me know, because I appreciate when people clarify it.
Sure.
So the city of Harlingen has it at $4.
Correct.
And we're trying, they're arguing to, or they're hoping to raise it $2.50. How many trips can you average in about an hour?
I wouldn't be able to answer that for you, Commissioner. We don't operate the taxis for Big Metro. We just do the licensing. And the rate would increase, it would increase to $2, from $3.50 to $6.
Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming you can do 3, maybe maximum 4 trips in an hour. So we're really only, like, they're only gonna get $10. Am I wrong? Or, like,
I'm sorry?
am I wrong?
It just depends on the length of their trip, Commissioner. I couldn't really tell you how many they get. We do have some operators here that maybe they could answer that for you.
Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, I'd like to hear from them.
Okay.
If by any chance. Thanks.
Well, I move to open public comment.
Yeah, so this is a public
Second.
hearing. If there's anyone here that wishes to address the commission,
Uno de
please step forward and state your name. See,
Please state your name
Víctor Hugo Castillo, Imperial Taxi.
and your address for the record, and you'll have up to 3 minutes to speak.
hay
Tu
que,
dirección.
hay que decir tu dirección, nombre y dirección.
Mi dirección personal es 5809 Hitching Post, Brownsville, Texas, 78526.
Gracias.
Sobre la pregunta que estaba diciendo la comisionada, que cuántos viajes hacemos en una hora, hacemos en Amira, que está aquí bajando el Puente Nuevo, tardamos 2 a 3 horas para salir los 10 carros que estamos en línea. Hacemos por viaje, si acaso es un viaje por hora o a veces es un viaje por cada 2 horas. Depende, nuestros clientes son los que tenemos el aumento. No tenemos muchos clientes frecuentes. Ahora por el Uber o por el Lyft ya se nos está bajando, pero es un viaje. Nosotros cada vez en nuestra libreta de apuntes apuntamos la hora de salida de cada viaje. Y las notas tenemos, a veces tardamos hasta 2 horas para salir a otro viaje.
Pero entonces le quiero preguntar, esos $2 o $3 que gane, además, si se cambia la orden, ¿en qué le ayuda? Porque si dice usted que hace un viaje cada 2, 3 horas o se tarda, pues los $2, $3 que se gana adicional como que no le rinde.
Es muy poquito de antemano, porque lo voy a poner un ejemplo del Puente Nuevo, de ahí de la Libre, a veces nos llega, la gente que ya toma el taxi frecuentemente son los que cruzan de Matamoros y nos dicen, mira, mijo, no vas a gastar mucha gasolina, aquí voy a la Pan Boulevard, el taxímetro nos marca 6.50. Entonces, con esos 2.50 nosotros le pedimos que demos regular un poquito la gasolina, el galón de gasolina.
Mayor, is there any way we can stop the clock? Because we're going to be asking questions, so I think it's just going to be, is that all right? Because we're going to be, is it fine? Okay, because I mean, since we're going to be asking, I think it's. Commissioner, do you have another question?
We can do a motion.
Well, I mean, technically, they have additional time because they're Spanish speakers, and we allotted that in the new rules. So, but if you want to suspend it entirely, you can suspend it for this item.
I'll move to
Do a
suspend the
motion?
rules as to the time.
For the time of public
Second.
hearing?
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Buenas tardes. Yo tengo una pregunta también. El día de ayer, me fui al puente porque quería ver cuánto costaba, ¿no? Entonces me fui al puente, me subí al taxi, no prendieron el taxímetro, no recuerdo cuál fue, digo. Podríamos ir y hay veces que prenden y veces que no, creo que ustedes lo saben. Tuve una reunión con uno de los compañeros y me comentó lo mismo, ¿no? Que hay ocasiones que hay unos que prefieren no prenderlo por lo que comentas, me imagino. Me salió del puente al mall $20. Eso es lo que me cobraron, con taxímetro apagado.
¿Del puente a dónde?
Al mall,
¿Al mall cuánto?
$20.
Equivocado, debe salir 16.50.
De acuerdo, no lo prendieron. O sea, creo que regresamos al detalle que hay muchos que no prenden. Me regresé en el Uber, me salió $11. A lo que yo pagué, a lo que me salió, fue el 82% más caro. ¿Cómo justificar eso a la comunidad? Esa es mi duda, ¿no? Si no prendemos el taxímetro, nos estamos poniendo las sogas solos, ¿no?
Claro, por eso le estamos pidiendo el aumento de 2.50. Pero si usted tomó el Uber, depende a qué hora. No sé si sabe que el Uber, en la hora que tiene más demandas, ellos también cobran más.
Sí.
Le puedo poner un ejemplo y lo tengo de un ahijado que estaba en Sombrero Fest a Walmart de Acton Grove a las 11:30 de la noche, le cobró $39.
Sí, fue la,
Nosotros cobramos $15.16 se le sale el medidor.
sí, de acuerdo. Esa misma plática la tuve con su compañero en la mañana, que entiendo que hay picos. Ahora, yo no puedo regular los picos, ¿verdad? No creo que se regulen los picos. Entiendo lo que comenta también. Es solo 2 males no es un bien, ¿verdad? El hacer 2 cosas mal no lo convierte en algo correcto. El decir, oye, está muy barato, pero si no lo prendo, pues me sale mejor, no es correcto, ¿no? Y obviamente tuvimos una plática, una persona y yo, de aquí de la comisión, oye, ¿por qué no se regula? Fue la pregunta que le hicimos. Pues entendemos que no vamos a tener a los policías parando taxis porque no está prendido el foquito, ¿verdad? Creo que hay cosas más importantes que tienen que estar haciendo a estar regulando eso. También tuve una llamada de uno de los compañeros, no recuerdo quién fue, que no quiere que se aumente. Digo, yo creo que es importante más el saber por qué no quieren que se aumente también. Me comentaba su compañero en la mañana que él considera que no quiere que se aumente porque hay gente que prefiere no prender el medidor para sacar una poquita de ventaja. ¿Cuál es tu experiencia?
Tengo 33 años trabajando como dueño, trabajando como taxi dueño. Yo le puedo decir que sería mucho mejor cuando hace años atrás los paraban y las multas los costaban el que no trajéramos el taxímetro de $180 hasta 220. Ahí todos usábamos el taxímetro, que no sacábamos eso ni el día y a veces a la semana. Entonces, así nos lo hicieron. Ahora, como dicen, por una le llevamos otros.
Sí.
Yo tengo mis choferes, a veces me hablan hasta para pedirme descuento, para que le hagan descuento. Lo puedo tener ahorita en un WhatsApp, me acaban de dejar la señora, fue a Home Depot, la esperó y la dejó en el Country Club. Me dice, le salió $38. ¿Cuánto le cobro? Es una cliente que hay que cuidarla, cobra $27. Le dije, no te tuviste moviendo, tuviste parada.
Gracias.
Comisionado, perdón, pero la pregunta para usted es ahora porque me tienes pensando aquí, que por qué a ti más barato el Uber y a mí más caro. Porque tú te fuiste del puente al mall por $20 y la regresada en el taxi. La regresada fue del mall al puente por 11, porque yo agarré uno del puente hacia mi casa que vivo por Old Port Isabel Road y me cobraron 13. O sea, ahora estoy como de que no, yo quiero mis
Well,
dólares para atrás.
Maybe that extra 2 miles. I have no idea.
Sí,
I mean, that's
que es
what-
más, o sea, más lejano el mall que
They
mi
came
casa, el
down the
lugar.
expressway, got off on International and dropped me off at the corner where I left my car outside of
Okay. Bueno.
what is it? TSC.
Sí, sé que pues las horas también con el Uber cuesta más durante más horas o a lo mejor la hora que me fui pues era más caro durante
Yeah,
ese tiempo. Okay.
I don't know.
Sí, bueno, pues, ok. Y también le quería preguntar para ustedes unas preguntas. Sé que mucho ha cambiado. Para mí, mi casa de seguranza ha ido más alto y también de mi coche. Solo les quiero preguntar para ustedes, nada más estoy pensando, me pongo en su lugar como de negocio pequeño. ¿Ha ustedes han mirado que ahora su aseguranza está más, el gas está más? ¿Sientes que los gastos han sido más desde el año pasado a este año?
Han aumentado.
¿Me puede dar un ejemplo? ¿A cuánto ha aumentado su aseguranza de coche del año pasado hasta este?
What I was told is 25%, if I'm not wrong.
¿Puedo opinar? ¿Me lo permite?
Nomás diga su nombre, por favor, y
Mi nombre es Estuardo de los Reyes Locoria. Dirección es 1385 Blue Wing en Lakeway. Es un placer
El
saludarlos.
micrófono, por favor, porque no le escucho bien.
Sí.
Gracias.
Mi nombre es Estuardo de los Reyes Longoria. Mi dirección es 1385 Blue Wing. Es un placer saludarlos. Muy buenas tardes. Los señores me pidieron que por favor les diera esta información. Hay aproximadamente 10 años de que tenemos ese banderazo de 3.50. Solo estamos pidiendo 2.50, que sumado nos dan 6. De cualquier punto que usted vaya del puente al mall, a McAllen, son 2.50. No voy a aumentar más. Son 2.50. Lo estamos haciendo porque realmente lo necesitamos. Ustedes ahorita estamos hablando de que los compañeros a veces no prenden. Precisamente eso es lo que le queremos pedir, que se regule, pero que también se regulen y que se estén al pendiente de que hay muchos compañeros, precisamente no lo prenden porque avientan los precios más altos para que el pasajero no lo vea. Y eso nos perjudica, porque eso es una competencia desleal y eso no es correcto. Precisamente por eso estamos aquí apoyando ese incremento. Es un incremento que puede ir hasta Nueva York y van a ser 250 más. El medidor le va a marcar 250 más. Si lo pidiéramos en millas, es diferente. Solamente están pidiendo 250. Yo pienso que de acuerdo a cómo está la situación, a cómo están los seguros, a cómo está la gasolina, a cómo están todos los pagos, pues ustedes lo estamos viviendo, nosotros todos lo estamos viviendo. Yo creo que es algo que realmente se necesita y si es necesario hacer un estudio mejor, porque ahorita estamos comparando, pero también necesitamos un estudio aquí local, donde realmente se estabilice el precio que realmente rige aquí en esta área. Porque lo que tenemos es una comparativa, pero la comparativa nomás nos sirve para comparar, pero la realidad la tenemos ahí nosotros. Realmente estamos pagando más por gasolina, si ya tenemos $1. Usted cruzó el puente y es $1 más. Antes eran 4, ahora son 5. Y nosotros no tenemos nada. Entonces, yo les pido que tengan un poco de conciencia, porque muchos tenemos nosotros la oportunidad de tener este negocio, pero tener otros. Hay compañeros que viven de eso, Y no nos vamos a hacer millonarios con 2.50, con todo respeto. Es algo completamente que es muy respetuoso, nos lo ofrecieron y pues ahorita nos ofrecen algo, pues lo agarramos. ¿Por qué lo vamos a agarrar? Porque lo necesitamos. Mil disculpas si los abrumé en algo, pero se los pido de todo corazón, lo necesitamos. Es una necesidad, es conciencia. Lo que necesitamos es conciencia. Y si es necesario trabajar más sobre esto, lo hacemos. Yo estoy en la mejor disposición de trabajar con el señor, con el equipo que nos atiende muy bien. Y lo hago con mucho gusto para llegar a una media, porque necesitamos llegar a una media para poder corregir estas cosas, porque estamos olvidados. Y nosotros somos parte de la ciudad. ¿Por qué? Porque pagamos mensualidad de piso. Pagamos 130 y tantos dólares al año porque nuestro coche circule, porque llega al aeropuerto. Y esos son gastos. También pagamos la renta del local, porque tenemos que tener a fuerza una base. Y eso parece que no, pero nos repercute en la bolsa. Y eso es muy importante. Yo se los pido, por favor. Y yo sé que es muy corto el tiempo, pero sí es importante que si pudiéramos trabajar más así, como lo estamos haciendo ahorita, yo se los voy a agradecer. Yo estoy en la mejor disposición de decirles la verdad. Esto pasa, porque es muy fácil decir, aquí estoy en el escritorio. Sí, pero nosotros estamos en el operativo. Nosotros somos operadores y nosotros estamos los que están viendo todas las circunstancias. Hay muchas cosas que podemos corregir porque somos parte de la ciudad. No nos olviden. Somos suyos. Nosotros cubrimos en la mañana cuando no hay transporte. Nosotros lo cubrimos. Ustedes tienen una flotilla de camiones que saben el costo operativo de cada camión. Me lo decían. Y ustedes lo saben. Entonces, es el mismo costo operativo. No más que nosotros de un mueble, 2 muebles. No es lo mismo un costo operativo de los camiones que usted tiene, pero tenemos un costo operativo. Mil disculpas. Es un placer y espero haberlos convencido. Gracias, señor.
Buenas tardes aquí a todos presentes. Mi nombre es Jesús González, vivo en 559 West Madison. Yo me quiero enfocar nomás en el banderazo. Como dijeron ahorita, con $2 no se gana nada. Con un aumento de $2 no se gana nada. Nosotros ganamos en el millaje, en los viajes. Si hubiera viajes como años atrás, estuviéramos, aunque hay viajes chicos, viajes grandes, pero se sale el día. Ahorita con los de Uber, y presente, con los Didi, nos quitaron todos los viajes, todos. Sacamos 3 viajes, 4 viajes. Si sacamos 3 viajes, $10, ya caminamos, ni para la gasolina ni para el seguro. Si sacamos un viaje bueno, por decir a Matamoros, Harlingen, más o menos sacamos chivo. La otra, yo investigué en la Unión Americana y chequé. Chequé en Nueva York, Los Ángeles y Miami. El banderazo está a $3. Aquí lo tenemos $3.50. ¿Cómo es posible que vamos a subirlo a $6 con una ciudad de 192,000 habitantes a comparación de ciudades que tienen miles de, como quizás millones de habitantes? No es compatible. No nos ayuda en nada los $2 del aumento. Lo que sería más conveniente que nos ayudaran en el Uber. Hay muchos estados de aquí en la Unión Americana, hay ciudades donde Uber nomás va y deja, no levanta. ¿En dónde? En los aeropuertos. Si hicieran eso ellos, si nos ayudaran en eso, es la única forma que nos pueden ayudar a nosotros taxistas, porque tenemos años que no nos han ayudado. También tengo 25, 30 años de taxista. Hay 3 puntos: el puente, la central y el aeropuerto. En el puente tiene más de 60 años el taxi allí. Uber vino ya suavecito y agarró la clientela allí. Un negocio dentro de un negocio establecido. Aeropuerto tiene que se abrió unos 25, 30 años porque se vendió la franquicia a otra parte. Se abrió para comercial. Igual, ahí vamos, ahí estamos todos los compañeros y nomás estamos viendo y Uber cargando. Yo tampoco no quiero que los quiten porque a lo mejor no se pueda. No, pero hay estados y aeropuertos de la Unión Americana que ni entra Uber tampoco. Que sí se puede. Yo lo único que pido es que Uber levante a 500 pies de esas 3 bases: puente, aeropuerto y central. Ahí nos ayudan, en todo nos ayudaríamos. Olvídese la gasolina, esto es temporal. Esto no va a alargar, nunca va a estar toda la vida. Aquí en Estados tenemos el privilegio que está la gasolina muy, en el estado de Texas estamos en el privilegio que la gasolina está muy barata casi siempre. Eso es lo único que yo pido. Uber, hay partes que el Uber, también como dijo un compañero, cuando hay pocos Uber, el precio es muy alto. Cuando hay eventos importantes, el precio sube. Después de las 2 horas, de las 2 de la mañana también sube. Y sube tan caro como nosotros. Como dijo este señor, yo subí y no pusieron la mira. Bueno, ahí yo estoy de acuerdo que tenemos derecho a una infracción, a una multa o lo que sea. Pero casi nadie imponemos, casi otros sí los ponen y otros no ponen. Yo soy regular que, yo siempre digo, yo siempre cobro lo que es justo. Y pongo la mira cuando el cliente me lo pide.
Una pregunta.
Sí.
En situaciones como cuando son las fiestas del charro o si hay un juego de fútbol que haya mucha gente, ¿ustedes fácilmente pueden conseguir un trabajito o no porque la gente siempre prefiere usar el Uber o el otro? ¿Verdad?
¿Me está refiriendo a mí que si
Sí,
yo puedo
le
conseguir otro
pregunto.
trabajo?
Por ejemplo, cuando son las fiestas del charro, que hay aglomeraciones de personas, es más, ustedes andan por ahí buscando a ver a quién
No,
levantan
casi
o
por
los
lo
tienen.
regular trabajamos con puros llamados. Casi por lo regular así nos acostumbramos en tiempos atrás. Nosotros no podíamos andar en la calle, ahora ya andan en la calle el taxi levanta donde sea. Antes no nos podíamos parcar en el parquímetro, porque eran las ordenanzas anteriores. Ahora yo no sé, porque no, a mí no me avisaron, porque también soy de la compañía. Y yo creo que a ningún compañero de ellos se le avisó cuando se quitó esa ordenanza. Antes teníamos que estar en la base. Ahorita ya no podemos parquear en cualquier parte usando la moneda y no hay problema. Eso antes no se usaba. Aquí nomás lo que yo pido a ustedes, el Uber. Yo no tampoco no digo que desaparezca, no. Simplemente en esos 3 puntos, puente, central y aeropuerto, que vaya a dejar, pero que nos deje nosotros los que vamos a ir para atrás. Ahora el que es gente de Uber es de gente de Uber, el que es gente de taxi es gente de taxi, el que es gente de autobús es de autobús. Si el señor es de Uber, va a caminar 150 metros, 500 pies. Es una ayuda para nosotros. No, tampoco no estoy diciendo que lo quiten, tampoco. Pero hay ciudades que el Uber en los aeropuertos no entran. Hay otras ciudades que nomás dejan. Entonces, ahí es la única forma que nos ayudarían a nosotros. Porque yo tengo muchos años también, ayuda, sí, que sí, pues nomás no. No. Y hacemos ahorita en la actualidad, el 2008 para atrás, hacíamos en la lista, digamos, de 20 a 25, 30 viajes diarios cada carro. De $3, de $5, $3. Uno Harlingen ya levantaba el día, pero se llenaba el buche. Ahorita hacemos de 3 a 5 viajes y vamos raspando a la casa. Si haces 3 viajes o 4 viajes o 5 viajes de $10, no sacas para los gastos. Si sacas uno bueno, ya más o menos se recompensa. ¿Por qué? Porque el Uber nomás va allí y levanta. Voy a poner un ejemplo. Hay una central enfrente de una gasolinera, está desocupada. Si yo fuera Capital y dijera, aquí voy a poner 40 peceras para el valle, más barato que cobre en la central, no le va a gustar la central, porque está un negocio establecido allí. Y no le va a gustar porque está haciendo un negocio dentro ya de un otro negocio. Es lo que hace Uber con nosotros. Ahí esos puntos, yo nomás es lo que le pido y nos beneficiaría a todos los taxistas, a todos. Que nos ayuden en eso. Que el Uber no levante en la central, puente y aeropuerto. A 500 pies.
Pues como le dije a mi compañero Cárdenas, estoy de acuerdo con usted, a eso sí le voy. Porque
No le oigo.
como le dije a mi compañero acá, el del fondo,
Sí.
estoy de acuerdo con usted y a eso sí le voy porque se me hace que tiene mucho sentido. Ustedes están ahí estacionados esperando a que les llegue un viaje y se pasan horas y entonces el subirlo 3, 4, aunque sea $4, no
Del viaje que
justifica
sea, nada más que si hubiera suficientes viajes, aunque sean de 3, 4, 5, pero llega uno bueno y sale el día. Pero ahorita no sale el día. Hacemos 3, 4 viajes, 5 viajes. Ahí en la central, yo he estado trabajando. Yo he visto llegar en mi turno más de 30 Uber para arriba, que sacan de ahí, pues se van para allá. Y nosotros sacamos 2, 3 viajes al día. Yo no sé, bueno, es todo lo que yo les puedo decir de eso. Si me pueden hacer otra pregunta y si puedo, se les contesto. Bueno, aquí sigue otro compañero, si a ver si quiere hablar también. Gracias.
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 Sir, I wanted to ask you, I've seen where in other areas, it's an Uber plus the taxi. Could taxis also have, because I see how Uber and Lyft are completely different, and I love that in our city, we have different options. Like, there's some people that they're gonna prefer Uber, Lyft. There's some people that are gonna prefer their taxi driver. A lot of them already have their own clientele from what I'm hearing. However, and I love that, how I mentioned, I love that we have options. And if you don't want to do either or, you have the city bus. And if you don't want to do that, you can call a family or friend family or family member or friend. However, I have seen in other areas where they have the ability to be a taxi plus an Uber on top of that.
I'm sorry, what was the question, Commissioner?
Why is it possible for them to also be Uber?
The taxi drivers?
Yeah.
They would have the contract with the company themselves.
No, but I think the task is, can you look into cities? Because it's like there has to be an agreement. I mean, there has to be an agreement how the city of Brownsville let Uber here. They just can't just pop up in any municipality that they desire, right? Was there an ordinance, Will, Alan? Because I know that,
They're regulated by state law and they're allowed to be here with or without our permission.
Uber?
Yes.
Yes, there was a law passed.
Yeah, that's correct. It's under the licensing authority for the state of Texas. So they don't need to have anything in a contract with the city per se, except out at the airport. Because
Except where?
except out at the airport because of the specific area that they have around it. They have a contract out at the airport, but that's separate and apart from the rest of the city. But that's regulated because of the FAA.
Well, then I think what Commissioner Macias is saying is that when we travel, for example, in other cities, I don't know where that is, but I know that when I put an Uber in certain cities, it will give me the option, like, for a taxi to accept that Uber request. It's part of the app. Like, I might get a taxi, I might get a regular, a rideshare car. If they've been sitting there waiting for 2 hours and they haven't gotten anyone, they actually can get a deal. And it says on the Uber, it says taxi. And you can click, yes, I accept, I want the taxi rate, and they'll come pick me up. I just
Like,
don't-
is there a city ordinance that prevents them from also being Uber?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
And they would have to be registered with Uber or Lyft in order to be in that app. But there's nothing that would prohibit us from the city side from allowing them to be both.
They would be contractors of Uber and Lyft, the team.
Correct. They are contractors of Uber. Correct. They're the self-contractors.
I had a
They're
question.
self-employed.
And then just one more. So Uber and Lyft doesn't pay anything to the city, but I know one of them mentioned that they pay for a license. It's 125 a year per car to the city for licensing fees.
Correct. Yes,
To the
Commissioner.
city. And then the permission at airport fee is $20 a year per vehicle.
It's $10. It's $10 per year, and it's $50 a month rental in front of the La Plaza terminal.
Okay, and then, well, one of them said they also pay for meters. So the taxi, it seems like the taxi drivers are paying into city or paying a portion in which the city can benefit. But then Uber and Lyft, we don't have any of those.
From my understanding, Commissioner, you're absolutely right.
But they are paying the fees at the airport. They
Right.
do pay the same fees as the taxis at the airport, but they don't have a meter. They don't have the annual fee. So that's the only difference.
Thank you.
So can we at least say that Ubers can, like at the Austin airport, you cannot get Uber right up close at the curb. Can we say that they have push them back? Because that's a convenience that probably people are willing to pay for too.
We have designated areas for both at the airport. I believe that's right. Faisal, you're out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's designated areas where each type is supposed to wait. But typically Uber and Lyft don't wait. They get summoned there by somebody who wants their ride.
And I have a question on, I've also heard that there are drivers that are not Uber or Lyft, or they're not taxis either, but they're going out and picking up people in front of, at the areas where the taxis are. So how do we regulate that as well?
Mayor, I wish I had an answer for you on that. I don't. I have heard that as well. I've heard it for nearly the 5 years that I've been working there at Metro. We do rely on the assistance of Brownsville PD and the citizens to send us complaints, or of the owner operators will say, well, we saw this individual. So when we get those complaints, we do call on PD, hey, can you help us out with this so we can look into this? And we'll do some patrolling. We'll see them out there. If we see anybody being picked up, it's very difficult to identify if they're not a family member. It could be a family member picking them up. For taxi drivers, all their vehicles are identified with their license, with their vehicle number, with their name. So it's easy for any one of us to identify them. And that is a requirement for our purposes to be able to say, well, they're regulated, they're licensed, they all carry their license, and they all have to meet the same requirements. So it would be very, very difficult for us to identify, although I have heard that for nearly the 5 years that I've been issuing the licenses, that's been a complaint. Yes.
Do we have anybody else for public comment?
Anyone else would like to speak?
And then one more thing, Mayor, I think you bring up a good point, and maybe this could be an opportunity for the marketing team to put out hey, be careful, safety guidelines, ask for this and this and this to know if they're verified taxi or Uber and Lyft. This is how you know verification. Or maybe even with the police, that would be a good little marketing.
And Commissioner, to that point, we do. Every time when we have a let's call it a flare-up, we do remind a lot of passengers, particularly those going through the La Plaza terminal. If you have any complaints, if there's anything that looks suspicious, or that you got treated unfairly, or they're not turning on the meter, here's where you can come in and let us know. Please come let us know. So they can file something and let us know. When they identify them, I do meet either, if they are just an operator, I'll meet with the owner. Tell them they have violated this part of the ordinance. I have the authority to suspend them for up to 3 days. At that point, I let the owner know you're going to lose a driver for possibly 3 days. And if they're owner operator in a single unit, you're not going to be able to operate for 3 days. So we really don't want to do that. So when we do that, we remind them of what they can and cannot do. And we have one more.
Yes, my name is Silvia Cavazos. I'm the owner of Brownsville Cap. The major just brought up a
State your
concern.
address for the
1945 Cordova Drive here in Brownsville, Texas. He brought up a concern. Yes, I've seen all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, out of those drivers that are offering the services, which they're not paying the taxes, they're not paying that commercial insurance that we have to pay yearly.
those licenses that we have to pay and, maintenances, everything that, compliance with our vehicles, that we have to have certain year of vehicle so we can, have the taxi, the company going. So, yeah, that's one of our main concerns. And it's a concern also for the community because you don't know who you're taking for a cheap price because you see them all around offering the services for $10 a ride. So, I mean, they decide to ride, unsafe instead of, taking a taxi, which, us, you have, the license require you a physical, a drug screen that we have to do in order for us to comply and with that license. So that's one of my concerns, right? We compliance with all these things that are required, but, there's people out there that they're not paying their taxes, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Actually, they're not supposed to be doing it. I mean, yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So you've heard of this happening?
Yes.
Okay. Chief,
And I do have screenshots of those things, those advertisements.
Okay.
I do have that.
okay. Chief, have you heard of this being going on in the city of Brownsville?
The pirate?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Have we found out anything or anything come out of that?
We investigate the various complaints that we have. We used to have several of them during COVID. There was an abundance of them during that time. They have gone down, if you would, considerably, but anytime that we get a complaint, we look into it.
Okay. Is there any way that when your taxi drivers or your employees find or see something, could they call Brownsville PD and let them know?
I'm sure we're not the only ones. Estoy
Or
segura-
anybody out there, anybody?
Ya, estoy segura que no nada más yo, pero también mis compañeros han mirado gente que va y recoge nada más así, delante de ellos, ¿verdad? Porque lo hacen cruzando el puente o en cualquier lugar. Entonces, no sé en verdad si ellos por su parte han reportado a la policía, ¿verdad? O han hecho algún tipo...
No, I understand. This is the first time I ever hear that. That's why I wanted to ask. But we need to ask, and like I said, Commissioner Macias, need to educate the public that if they see something like this going on, that it needs to be reported.
Yeah.
Because the only way we're ever going to stop something like that is if we report it. That's where I was trying to go. But I thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Any other people from the community who wants to speak on this matter?
¿Alguien más que guste hablar?
Move to close public hearing.
Second.
All right, we have a motion second to close public hearing. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Public hearing now closed.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
I'm going to go nay. Only because, as I've stated before, just increasing the base is not enough for them to make a difference in what they need. Y no es, lo voy a decir en español, voy a votar en contra porque no es que esté en contra de ustedes, es que se me hace muy poquito el dinero, la diferencia, que en realidad no les va a ayudar en sus gastos. Y tenemos que encontrar entonces otra manera de cómo ayudarles a ustedes, pero a la misma vez no hacerlo más difícil para las personas que dependen de su servicio, porque yo me imagino que la mayoría de sus clientes son gente que no tienen tarjeta de crédito, gente mayor de edad que a lo mejor no usan un teléfono inteligente y entonces son gente que ustedes a lo mejor hasta ya hicieron amistad porque son clientes frecuentes. Pero por eso es que estoy votando en contra. No es porque esté en contra de ustedes, es que tenemos que buscar la manera de que cómo puedan ustedes todavía salir adelante y seguir con su profesión. Por eso. Pero bueno, sin perjudicar a los que de veras dependen de sus servicios. Y por eso. Pero.
Any further comments?
Can I make a quick comment? I want to agree with Commissioner Golansky about the amounts. It's my opinion that there's several factors also. I think the ordinance, chapter 106, not just for fares, but overall is outdated. It's been more than 10 years old. And I'll give you an example. When the bridge closed during COVID, they weren't able to operate on like on a regular day because did not have traffic, and they were not able to the ordinance didn't lend itself to it. So if it's okay with my colleagues, I would ask that we do a workshop to entertain the taxi ordinance and see what has to be enhanced, to also help them, not just with the fares, but all the bells and whistles to also go with it as well.
I would second that, and I would add, I know we've been told no, I would just like to see it, the law in writing from other cities of what regulations other cities might or do not have whatsoever over Uber and Lyft.
Commissioner, that's a good idea, a workshop, because here, Commissioner Galansky and myself, we're here, talking, quietly, coming up with better ideas to be able to help them in, whether it's a fee here or parking here. I think it's a great idea.
And
Just
I
to
also,
help them out.
I think a lot of this also comes down to enforcement. And we can have all the ordinance that we want, but if we don't have the personnel to enforce it, that's also a big factor. So we need to look at that broader picture as well. So, you have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Yeah, we have one nay.
So
Ayes
6
have
to
it.
1,
Carries.
yes. Perfect, it passes. We move on to the public hearing number 2, is the public hearing and action on the first reading on ordinance number 2026-1801. I'm amending the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 94 of the Taxation, Article number 2, ad valorem taxes, Division 2, the exemption, Section 94 through 57, the historic sites, by repealing and replacing Section 94 through 57B, 2024, the historic preservation plan, with the 2026 Historic Preservation Plan, Schedule A, Schedule B, and Schedule C. And before you at the dais is the updated draft for your consideration, if approved, the ordinance. We'll turn it over to staff.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. I'm pleased to summarize the tax exemptions for this year. First, we have the Schedule A that is composed by 97 properties. As you know, these properties could be national markers approved by the National Park Service or state markers approved by the Texas Historical Commission. There are also properties that are of local importance on the local designated property resources. And finally, substantial rehab. That constitutes around 97 properties, which will impact on the general fund in an amount of $133,000. Then the Schedule B are those properties which were substantially rehabbed in the past years, but now the term has expired. You know that the ordinance says that they have a maximum of 5 years. So the last year was the 2025, and they cannot participate this year. And those are 3, and that would be an increase of $2,000. Finally, the Historic Preservation Commission is proposing Schedule C that regards to 16 properties, which it has been noticed that there's a certain kind of lack of maintenance. So we will support this year, but the message is that they have to amend this kind of maintenance before the September the 1st. Otherwise, they will be automatically blocked for 2027. Indeed, there are some property owners that have already started to do this rehab. The ordinances establish that the period to do this kind of repairs are 60 days. We are giving more than 2 times this schedule to become a meet code. So we are giving more than 4 months to comply. And those are 16 properties. And suppose the amount of money that could be involved to block are $16,000. But as I said, this year we are supporting once more these properties, but we are sending a clear message that if they don't amend these properties, they would be simply automatically removed for the next year and they would not participate. If you have any questions, I would be very pleased to answer.
Good afternoon. I have a question. On the 16 that are not in compliance and they have till September 1st, 2026, is that for them to finish or to start?
No, it's to finish.
It's to finish?
Yeah.
And do they all know?
Yes, we send a letter to let them know. Mostly, most cases are kind of a painting. The painting is peeling out, and so they have to paint. In some others are kind of a leveling. In that case, we are understanding that maybe the owner can simply level this year, and then in the following fiscal year do the painting. We are not so in that case we are not so concerned, but they have to show something. That's
Okay.
maybe the a little bit more deeper the work, but the rest are simply that the people are not using the tax exemptions to maintain the properties, and naturally that attitude has to be stopped.
You know, I think there's a brand new program on BCIC that is actually for facades downtown. So I think it'd be important to share with them that that does exist and hopefully they can apply. I think it's for about $10,000. So this is probably what we want it for. I mean, obviously they can't be homes, so they're businesses, but I hope they take advantage of it. So hopefully you can let them know.
Yeah, absolutely, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right, this is a public hearing, so if there's anyone here that wishes to address the commission on this item, please step forward.
Mayor, I move to close public hearing.
All right.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close public hearing. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
6-0.
We have a.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
It carries 6-0. Moving on to the public hearing number 3. It's public hearing and action on the first reading to adopt ordinance number 2026-1781A, amending the fiscal year 2026 budget. We'll turn it over to staff.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Stephen Muse, Financial Service Department. Do I have a clicker somewhere? Do I have a little clicker for this?
Yeah, you're gonna have to speak into the mic. It's hard to hear you.
Sorry about that. So we have our amendment requests for you tonight for your consideration and approval. Starting with general fund, we're proposing to use 16 days of our 25 days of unassigned fund balance, which is approximately $6.6 million. We'll use 2.2 from fees and fines, which is our restricted funds, and we're just establishing the budget so we can, from these separate restricted funds from child safety, seat fee, the subdivision park fees, and the Resaca fees. We also want to establish the budget for the contributions we've received from JBIC, BCIC, and GB, EDC now, and the county for the Texas Workforce Commission building. So in total, it's about 10.8 million. On the revenue side, on the expenditure side, we have some items for police and fire, which includes the Accident AI reporting software and fire striker maintenance. For public works, we have greens mowing contracts, electrical signal equipment, and asphalt materials. Parks and recreation includes the storage rentals for holiday villages, cannery mowing services, and certain special events. Excuse me. Planning includes the historic preservation program. That's the bulk of it, as well as some an add-on for Excel called GWiz. The library is entirely for books. Personal development and compensation includes an executive assistant position and various position reclassifications for several departments, including parks, library, CMD, EPW, and the health department. We also have some minor general operational costs, as well as some professional services costs. The economic development portion includes Chapter 380 agreements, as well as airport economic incentives. And the transfer outs are to support some capital projects for various parks, operating transfers for the airport to support airport advertising, as well as the transfers to the internal service funds for emergency generators and elevator replacement. And the child safety awareness program, we're establishing the budget so that PDB, Metro, Municipal Court, and Health can begin using those restricted funds, as well as for the park subdivision fees. Those will go to support fitness courts at various parks as well as La Posada Park Development. And then the special projects include reimbursements from the state for the Texas Ambulance Supplemental Program, as well as several minor projects that we need to establish the budget for, which include the benefit golf tournaments and several firefighter events. And then, of course, the property acquisition for the Texas Workforce Building. So that concludes general fund. We also have some requests for other funds. So for convention and tourism, we're proposing to use fund balance to cover some special initiatives and promotional items for CVB, as well as they're going to transfer additional funds to the airport in support of their airport advertisement. For street and drainage, we use fund balance for the drainage utility study, about $43,000. For the airport, we're reflecting the transfer there from the general fund for the advertising, but they've also had really good revenues from their parking rentals, the parking fees, as well as the car rentals. So we're adjusting the budget up by $400,000, and that'll offset some of their costs for professional services, software, and maintenance that they're needing to get. For the motor vehicle parking fund, this transfers to support some downtown cameras, the maintenance agreements for those. For the landfill, we have two sources. The fund balance is primarily for some capital equipment. The certificate of obligations are to establish the budget for the maintenance building that they're constructing, as well as, I believe, cell number 5 that they're also constructing. Fleet and facility services. This is the operating transfer from general fund to support the emergency generators, and then the elevator replacement at the B Metro parking garage. Those are the requests. Is there any questions on these?
The only question that I have is in regards to Public Works. I don't know if somebody here from Public Works could answer this, but has there been any increase on funding for speed bumps? Because I know that's one of the things that most people are messaging me about left and right is speed bumps, speed bumps. I know that as of last that I checked, the budget was $80,000. It's about $10,000 per speed bump. There's a wait list of 60 speed bumps or more, and there's many requests coming in. So have we increased that, or will a portion of that money go to speed bumps? Because I would really like to see that happen.
A good question.
We do not.
Get to the microphone.
Thank you. The question was about speed bumps, correct? So no, there's no specialized funding designated for speed humps. Not too sure about a wait list. I can confer that with our traffic and engineering department. But it is a costly expense for us to provide that.
So in the future, we can please have that within our scope of increasing that. Would really appreciate that. I know the residents would really appreciate it too.
We will look at that specifically as part of our budget process for next year and making sure that's a line item. And we have an accurate list for you.
Thank you. I think you guys are doing great. The potholes, the roads, the drainage, really amazing work that you guys are doing. I think speed bumps is definitely needing some help in that area. I know Commissioner Cardenas also posted on his Facebook about what you would like to see. I know in his district, a lot of people put there like, help us with speed bumps in this area in your district. So I'm like, okay, no, yeah. It was a really good little survey that he did out there. And it just commends to the documentation of the speed bumps are really needed in the community.
Thank you, Commissioner, for your kind regards. We're proud to respond to your all's requests for potholes, and we do pay close attention to those requirements and try to respond appropriately. In terms of speed bumps, when we do a street rehabilitation or mill and overlay, we do try to restore those speed humps. We also look at alternative measures for providing, ways to slow down traffic, including, the valley gutters. So we try to look for different options aside from having that speed bump. Both are costly, but we try to maximize how we determine the needs for that when we're redoing streets as well.
And I will say you guys have done an incredible job in being creative and utilizing other avenues to kind of help and supplement the lack of. But I also think that we as a commission should be backing you guys up and helping out as much as possible.
Thank you, Commissioner. We'll provide you with a plan, and if there is a list out there that I'm not aware of, we will let you know. We do get several requests, and there is a process for how residents request speed bumps, and there is a process for how the traffic department determines whether a speed bump is also warranted, right? We do a traffic count study, speed count study, those things. So we would be happy to share those details with you.
Questions? All right, this is a public hearing, so if there's anyone here that wishes to address the commission on this item, please step forward.
Move to close.
Second. A motion, and second to close. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Next, we have the board appointments. Item number one is a consideration and action on resolution number 2026-043B to appoint members to the One City Committee.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. For the record, Maria Solesi with the City Manager's Office. Tonight, we do have 2 vacant spots for the One City Committee, one for Commissioner Villarreal and the other one's for Commissioner Martinez.
Thank you, Marina. I'll move to appoint Linda Tolman.
We have a motion.
Second.
and a
Second.
Second, any further, okay.
I'm appointing Linda Tolman.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Move to appoint Carlos Charlie Abrego.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item number two is the consideration and action on resolution number 2026-052 to appoint a member to fill in an unexpired term on the Brownsville Convention and the Visitors Bureau Advisory Board.
Good evening, City Commission, Mayor and City Commission. We have one opening to be filled by Commissioner Golonsky at large B.
And I appoint Cynthia Galvan.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Item number three is the consideration and action on resolution number 2026-004C to appoint members to the Charter Review Committee. This appointment is for Commissioner at-large A and Commissioner District 1.
I move to appoint Ben Peña.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
I'll move to appoint former Mayor Trey Mendez.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Perfect. Moving on to item number four is the consideration and action to appoint one member of the Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone TERS Board of Directors to serve as the chairperson for a one-year term beginning upon approval pursuant to the section 311.009 of the Texas Tax Code.
So, Mayor and Commission, we were informed by Travis that there's a requirement under the code that the TERS Board Chair be appointed by the Commission. So that's what the action we're asking for tonight from the members that have already been appointed.
I'd like to make, before we get there, since this is up, I'd like to make a clerical correction. My appointment was Luis Rodolfo Rodriguez, and I believe Commissioner Cardenas' appointment was Juan Benito Garcia. You have it flipped.
Oh, we haven't flipped. Okay, we will correct that. So Ramiro is District 4. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you for pointing it out.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I move to appoint Michael Limas.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Perfect. May we enter into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
All
Aye.
in favor?
Aye.
Any oppositions? It carries.
Ayes have it, motion carries.
So the city commissioners will enter into executive session Pursuant to item number 1 is closed session pursuant to the Texas Local Government Code Section 551.071, .072, and .087 related to Project Estrella. Number 2 is pursuant to the Local Government Code 551.071, .072, and .087 related to the GBEDC projects. Item 3 is pursuant to the Texas Local Government Code 551.071, .072, and .087 related to Project Gateway. Item number 4 is closed session pursuant to the Texas Local Government Code 551.071 and .072 related to Project Vector. Number 5 is closed session pursuant to 551.071 and .072 related to Project Sable. Number 6 is pursuant to 551.071 and .072 and .087 related to the TERS. Number 7 is pursuant to the Local Government Code 551.071 and .072 related to the Project Command Center. And executive session number 8, closed session pursuant to the Texas Local Government Code 551.071 and .072 related to Republic Service. The time is 6:55. We will return. Yes. Mayor, may we reconvene into open session?
Yes, please.
Perfect, thank you. The time is 8:38 PM. We are reconvening into open session. I do want to make a note for the record that item number 7 regarding Project Command Center, there was no discussion, no action needed, so we will proceed to possible action. We'll start with number 1 related to Project Estrella. There's no action on that one.
There is no action on one, and I move to approve move to proceed as discussed on items 2, 3, and 4.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Move to adjourn.
Adjournment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned, everyone.
We are adjourned at 8:39 PM. Good night.